To handle our live demo session today, I'm going to invite Kehinde Deborah. She's the head of curriculum at uLesson Education. So enjoy her session.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was just speaking about the amazing thing that you have, things you've spoken, Mrs. Inka, about the revolution that uLesson has brought to the game, to the education space, right, today. And I'm going to be showing us these revolutionary products that the uLesson team has built. I need to also emphasize and speak about how this was built by teachers, feedback that we received from teachers. At uLesson, we built an ecosystem for learners with our pre-recorded library that is optimized for experiential learning, differentiated learning in the classroom. And we have done this building the NERDC, breaking down the NERDC curriculum, and also the Cambridge framework, and bringing them into bite-sized videos that are comprehensive for learners all around the world, in Africa, in Nigeria, wherever you go, you can use uLesson. And we've optimized this lesson to be richly animated videos, just like Mrs. Ika said. I'm going to go right into it so that we don't waste a lot of time. So the first thing I'm going to start by showing us is I'm going to be showing the uLesson app on the Classboard. Like I said, this is a revolutionary product that we've launched. I'm sure this is not the first smart board you are seeing, but as we go on, you're going to see and you're going to understand why this is revolutionary, why this is different. Again, this is built by the feedback that we've received from teachers, by a team of teachers and educators that we have as a team as well on the uLesson side. So I'm going to start by showing us the uLesson app on this board. So this is made up of 3 components: the uLesson app on this board, which is the software part of this, also other learning tools on this hardware, and the teacher's guide, which is a solution that we have provided for teachers to make sure that learning can be better. The experiences that learners have in the classroom can be top-notch. Okay, so to the uLesson app on the Classboard. Okay, so when you open the uLesson Classboard app, when you open this is what you see, a display of all our subjects: home, search, resources, and the option for you to download. But quick one here, this is the array of the subjects that we have in the senior library. Here at uLesson, we've covered 17 subjects across 3 different grade groups. That's the primary grade group, the junior secondary grade group, and the senior secondary grade group. So this board is designed for the senior school, and it has 9 subjects, 9 core subjects on it. All of these subjects have broken down the curriculum into bite-sized videos. They are very curriculum relevant videos, and they're also richly animated. So I swipe right this way to see the list of subjects that uLesson has on the Classboard app. So from the commercial angle, the social science subjects, to the arts and the sciences as well. You can see the array of subjects that I'm showing and I'm displaying. I'm just going to pop open one video so we see this. This is just for a demo. Of course, we don't have a lot of time, so I won't be showing too much, right? But yes, you can always reach out to us, get more information on that. So I'm going to start and play one of the videos that we have on the uLesson app. So
the prosecutor is badgering the defendant.
I am just asking questions.
Objection overruled. Prosecutor, please carry on with your cross-examination.
So, Miss Adoni, you said you were sleeping when you heard the gunshot. But from the conversation you had with Mr. Ugo, it shows you were awake at the time shooting happened. I ask again, were you sleeping? Remember, you are under oath.
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecutor has a personal vendetta against my client, which is grounds for a mistrial. The jury and I will decide whether or not this case is a mistrial.
Your Honor, I do not have a vendetta against the defendant. The defense lawyer just wants this case to be dismissed because he has no evidence.
Ms. Admin, answerable.
All right, so that's a sample video. I'm sure that caught your attention even as an adult. So this is an English lesson about words in the courtroom, but they didn't just mention those words. They went on to demonstrate how those words are used in real life. So what we've done is our videos give real life, real world application to concepts. So learners are not just learning about things in an abstract way. They can visually understand them. They can mentally put pictures to these concepts. And that helps to drive retention, helps drive engagement in the classroom and with these learners. So that's a video. You can go back, you can rewind by 10 seconds, you can play, you can pause, and you can continue. You can also go on to the next lesson. So I'm just going to show us a typical way of how these lessons are seen. So once I open a subject, next thing I see is an array of chapters that we have. And trust me, we've covered 20-something plus chapters across each of the topics. So this is a chapter in biology. I'm opening this chapter. This chapter has a variety of lessons as well. So let's open this particular lesson, recognizing living things in biology. So when you open each lesson, you see these functional tools for you to use. You can either play these buttons, you can play a video, you can go directly to the quizzes, which is a different angle to the apps that we have. So we have a learner app for learners to use. This app is optimized for the teacher to use when teaching the learners in the classroom. And we know that teachers sometimes don't start from the video. They want to play a quiz just to test previous knowledge from the last lesson. So pretty much play, you can go directly to our quizzes, you can download the lesson as well. And these are resources as well. So these resources are visually stimulating images that learners can use, that teachers can use to emphasize a topic or concept in the classroom. All right. While this is taking some time to load, I would not want to waste our time at all. I'm just going to go right into the resources column. So here I've gone through the home. We've seen all the subjects that we have. Next is the search. So you can search here for any topic that you particularly want as a teacher. So objection, everything that has objection in it comes out, right? This is a video on objection, your honor, a lesson ID and a lesson code to search for it. These codes are also provided in our teacher's guide, which I will talk about later. All right, so you can search for videos, you can search for quizzes, and you can search for resources through the search engine. So instead of going through the chapter, the long route of opening the chapter, then the lesson, then getting to the resources, right? For better ease of use, we've created the search option. Next is the resources button. So this resources just shows you all the resources that we have across each of the subjects we've provided here. So this is mathematics. Based on every chapter and every lesson that we have, these are the resources. So each of these are resources, packed resources for these learners to stimulate them in the classroom. Not just stimulate them, but to make sure that learning happens properly. Okay, so I'm going to go out of the uLesson app right now. There's a whole lot to see, but again, we can't do too much of an in-depth demo because of time. I'm going to go right into one of the other tools that you can use on the uLesson Classboard. And this is the Whiteboard app. So with the Whiteboard, you can teach a lesson in a classroom, right, independent of the uLesson app, or you can integrate both in the classroom as a teacher. I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. Okay, so this is the Whiteboard. The Whiteboard allows you to teach lessons. You can write on the board. So I'm going to write English here. Okay, and I'm going to write a sentence if I want to. So, Mr. Godwin loves what? Chocolates. Let's hope that's true. Okay, so Mr. Godwin loves chocolates. I can select a different color to indicate something else. I can choose white. There's an array of colors. I can also adjust the thickness of my pen as it suits whatever writing I want or I prefer, or depending on the vision of the learners in the classroom, right? I want them to be able to see what I'm writing legibly. So I can adjust this, or I can switch to the different types of pen. This pen I've switched to allows me draw and then changes to a shape. So if I didn't know how to draw as a person or as a teacher, this can help me achieve that. And I can go on to erase. There are 3 options of what I can do if I'm erasing: to clear all, or to select erase a portion of what I want to do. So now I'm going to choose to clear all. Okay, and then I can split the screen for an activity in the classroom. So I can split the screen into 4 to give the learners a quiz activity, and we're just playing in the classroom. So this is group 1, and simultaneously, you can write here. Okay, I'm not left-handed, but just to show you that this works. All right. So that's what we do on the split screen option of the whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to exit the split screen now. And I'm going to show you the math tools that we have. So this shows an array of shapes, 2D and 3D shapes that you can use in the classroom to teach learners. This is very useful for subjects like mathematics, physics, even English in some cases. All right. Okay, so those are the tools that we have. There are a ton of them here. I'm just going through the most important one. I can go to the internet as well while teaching my learners in the classroom. So without leaving the whiteboard app, I can access the internet. So here's Google here, and we want to do a quick search to find out if what we want to verify an information that the teacher has just taught in the classroom. So you can do that. So I'm going to close that now. Next is, so I was speaking about the mathematical tools. So I have my ruler here. With my ruler, I have to select my pen. Let's use white right now. Okay, so here I selected my pen, white, and now I'm going to draw a straight line with my ruler. You can see I've achieved that with one of the mathematical tools. I can go on and use my protractor, my compass, all of these tools are here for plotting angles, for constructions, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to exit this now and just show us an amazing thing you can do with the uLesson Classboard before I go on to the Teacher's Guide, which is a solution for teachers. So on the uLesson app, you can split screen with 2 apps simultaneously to use that to teach. So let's say you're teaching the learners on the uLesson Classboard, you just watched a video, and you also want to write on the whiteboard, right? So let's do that together. So here's the uLesson app. All I have to do is press this, select free window, and I can swipe to the right or to the left. So here I swipe to the right, and then I select my whiteboard by long press to the left as well. So here I have 2 apps functioning at the same time. Okay. Okay, so I could select a video, I can play a video, and at the same time, write to just emphasize something in the classroom. Okay, we don't have the time to play that, but I'm just showing you that this functionality works on the uLesson Classboard. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close the order as well. So thank you so much for listening so far. So the last but not the least component of the uLesson app is the Teacher's Guide. Now, I need to mention that the Teacher's Guide is available on a website that we've made available. okay, to our users. Okay, I'm going to open this up and walk us through the teacher's guide. So the teacher's guide is not on the board, but you have access to this on a website. So with your phone, with your laptops, you can access this anywhere. And this is only for the teacher. This guide is to help the teacher prepare ahead of the lesson. It's not to be used in the classroom with the learners or showing the learners, right? It's for the teacher. And what did we do in the teacher's guide? What have we built? What have we put together? Like I said, we received feedback from teachers to build this. So this contains measurable lesson objectives. I'm going to be showing us this broken down on every topic in the curriculum. It's a lot of intense work. And we did it with qualified best teachers putting this together, people who have taught in the classroom, who understand the typical plights of teachers. Okay, so this is an introduction page. But yeah, we've also added the chapter list of everything that we've done in a particular class. So this is SS1 physics, SS2 physics. These are the chapters that we've covered in SS2 physics. There are 40 chapters here, but each PDF has one chapter, has treated one chapter. So here we're only looking at velocity time graph in physics. And in every one, so this is the content page, which are the lessons in this particular chapter. So let's go directly to velocity time graph. Like I said, what we've done is we've taken feedback from teachers. What are your typical pain points? This is one of the best things about this product, okay? So the lesson objectives, they are measurable lesson objectives built based on the Bloom's taxonomy. So we're not looking at words like understand, because that's very vague to measure as a teacher. We've put together measurable objectives like analyze, compare and contrast, apply, create. Those are the things that help you test true understanding in the classroom. We didn't just stop there. We've also built an interactive, instructive lesson plan, right? And in this lesson plan, we've integrated our videos as instructional aids that the teachers can use when teaching this concept. So our bite-sized 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes videos, you can integrate them as a resource to teach velocity time graph or whatever topic it is in your classroom. But we didn't stop there. We've also added resources. So these are lesson resources that will also be in full screen. I'm going to show us an example of this if we still have some time. Okay, so these resources are just here. These are the smaller sizes. The bigger sizes are on the uLesson app on this board, preloaded. And the essence is that you can use what is on the PDF to project what you're going to see in the classroom and plan with that. So these are the resources on this topic on the uLesson Classboard. How can I use this to teach this concept? We've also broken that down. We've asked you to revisit previous lesson on motion. So you're teaching velocity time graph. A previous knowledge to, juggle their minds on would be on motion. Right, next is the video presentation, which allows you to use those instructional aids, our videos as instructional aids for your learners. Okay, so this is the lesson plan broken into parts where you are watching the video, pause for reflection, and a guide, an instructive guide on post-viewing activities for you to take on in the classroom. Well, we also did not stop there again. We also applied what we call real-world applications. So how would this concept apply in the real world? Because a lot of times the learners don't know how this applies outside of the classroom. So we've put scenarios, we've put examples of how this topic would apply in the real world. One is traffic signal. This is how velocity time graph would apply, and so on. All right, and we've also put student projects. So you are that teacher that wants to engage your learners outside of the classroom. You want to give them a group project, or you want to give them an individualized project to work on. The student project gives you an opportunity to do that. All right, and we have like 3 to 5 of this for you to give these learners. And so the last part, but not the least part, is the homework section. We know how important it is for teachers to evaluate, to assess their learners after teaching. So what did we do? We've provided 5 questions. In some of them, we've provided more than this, but 5 higher order questions. So higher order assessment items. These higher order assessments are testing for what? For analyzing. You have to critically think to properly answer these questions. And it helps you escape from just testing for remembering, right? You can just remember the concept. We want to test to see if you truly understand the concept. And next are the answers. So we've provided detailed answers to these questions because we know that this is an important element for you as a teacher. And we've added timestamps. So timestamps, we know that you've given these learners these questions as homework, but you don't just want to give them the answer directly. You want them to arrive there by themselves. So we've added timestamps of where these questions were addressed in our videos. So you can give it to the learners and say, watch and let's see, do you know how to calculate acceleration of an object? All right, so watch this video. Let's see if you can tell how to do this at this point. And this is the teacher's guide. We've gone over that. And we've done this for thousands. We have over 5,600 higher order assessments in our library and on this board. Okay, so I'm just going to show us some of our resources so that we can see this properly. Okay. So this is a resource in mathematics. This is a set of math symbols. This is loading. Can you see? This is a visually beautiful representation. It's more beautiful instead of me just talking to you about the math symbols. I can show you what the math symbols are. And guess what? I can write on this. I can annotate on these resources, okay? I can write on these resources. I can underline. I can direct this. Okay, what does this X mean? Okay, I can write on the resources on the board. I can circle them out and I can ask what they are. Okay, so let's go on to other resources. This is a set of natural numbers less than 8. This is a mathematics resource as well with symbols. Remember, I can write on these resources to further explain in the classroom. Okay, so I'm just going to be swiping through in a few seconds so that we can look at this properly and see the resources that we've done. It's been an amazing time together, just showing us what uLesson has done, the amazing work we've done, if we do say so ourselves. All right, so these are parts of a circle, right? This is such a beautiful, beautiful representation of this. I was telling someone the other day that if my maths teacher taught me with resources like this, I might have done much better with mathematics. Okay. So these are some of our resources, and we can go on and on. So this is application of the angle of elevation. So look at this. It's a beautiful representation, a beautiful way to teach learners in the classroom and say, okay, find the height of this tree, or even change the degree and say, okay, what if this was 5 and this was 8? Okay, so what would the height of the tree be? Let's calculate with another figure. Okay, that's another interesting way to do this in the classroom. Okay, area under a curve as the sum of smaller rectangles. Okay, analyzing properties of some solid shapes. This is a beautiful representation of that as well. Examples of sphere in real life. Remember, it's important that the learners can apply this in the real world. Okay, deriving formula for surface area of a sphere. I can go on and on. This is a wavelength spectrum of electromagnetic waves. Look at that beautiful, beautiful visualization of this. It makes it so much easier for the physics teacher to be able to explain concepts like this, or a basic science teacher to use beautiful visually stimulating assets in the classroom. So remember, I can even zoom in on this and zoom out of my resources, okay, some common types of motion. So this is a beautiful way to even annotate and show the learners, okay, what is happening here? What does this mean? What does this is movement. What kind of movement is this? Okay, so this is a beautiful way to represent that. And you can erase also on these resources what you've written on the board, all right? So those are examples of the resources that we have on the uLesson app. I'll be exiting this back to my home screen so that we can see the board. Okay, so that's the uLesson Classboard for you. Thank you so much for listening. I know you might have some questions. Please put them in the comment section. We'll be ready to take all of that, and we'll be ready to also take your orders. All right, so thank you so much for listening again. See you some other time. Thank you.